Okay, well, I think it would be important to lay down some context to this discussion first. So let's hear a little bit more about this new partnership between Twitch and LaLiga. Alfredo, I'll direct to you to give us a little bit of colour.
Thank you very much, Felicity. Yes, we started a new partnership together with Twitch 4 weeks ago, where some of the most relevant influencers in the internet, streamers, are commentating our matches through their Twitch channels and also through LaLiga Twitch channel. Where while they commentate their matches, this is going to be an extra audio option in the broadcasting possibilities offered in Spain. And also we have a new experience of those influencers commentating the game through their channels. What we are aiming to achieve here is to connect with younger audiences that probably consume football in a different way and try to make them engage with our main content, not just apart from the matches, also during the 90 minutes experience.
Okay, great. And Farhan, from your perspective, I guess, Twitch to your everyday would be something that was very gaming led. This is maybe a very new traditional kind of sports and entertainment property for you to enter into. What certainly are the benefits that you see for your business aligning with such a powerhouse within the kind of football industry?
Sure. Well, I mean, we've seen tremendous growth in a number of non-gaming categories on our service. It's actually quadrupled in viewership over the last few years, and sports has been a significant a driver of that. And we've been actively kind of pursuing strategic partnerships in the market for a number of years within sports. So I think what's exciting about the LaLiga collaboration is a few things. One is that LaLiga are looking to create their own community. So LaLiga have their own Twitch channel now, and they're producing kind of live interactive entertainment on that channel and providing fans of the sport with something different that they might not be getting on other services. I think also what's exciting is that LaLiga are looking to work with some of our creators on our service, and Twitch, something fundamental that we look at is how do we continue to support and help grow the creators on our service. And it's great when we work with kind of companies and entities who look to service that, and having creators such as Ibai being able to work with one of the biggest, if not the biggest, leagues in the world is great. It's great for everyone, really, and I think helps bridge that gap between kind of sports and the content that we have on our service.
And you talk there about the kind of community, and I apologize here. So creators are influencers. Is this the same? Is that a creator and influencer in your world, in our world?
Perhaps in yours, not so much in the Twitch world. We look at our those who stream content on our service as creators. There's a number of reasons for that. They are the ones who they provide the creative. They are actually producing the content. There's a huge skill set actually within that. But yes, I think what they do is they build communities. So they have a Twitch channel, and people go to watch them on that Twitch channel. Fundamental on Twitch is they then interact with that creator as well. So there's this kind of live interaction between the creator and the content they're producing. And some of the creators that LaLiga are using have sizable audiences on Twitch, and they generate hundreds of thousands of views whenever they go live. So it's a good way of looking at getting into the Twitch audience using our endemic creators, because they know how to present content authentically and they have an existing audience. So yeah, we would refer to them as creators, but I think there are kind of synergies between the kind of the industry standard term.
Right, okay. And so this community, that's really interesting. I know that it's very important at LaLiga to work with influencers and creators. It's something that you guys are really looking to get involved in. Can you, Alfredo, tell us why and how do they communicate your messaging and also help your brand as a whole, I guess, differently to a traditional communication audience?
Yeah, to Farhan's point, that concept of building a community is quite relevant to us. At the end of the day, we our main business is content creation and content distribution, but we want to go beyond the traditional content that LaLiga creates. It's the 90 minutes of matches, and we want to engage audiences beyond that during the week and within the different platforms that they use to consume that kind of content. And to us, being able to work with creators and try to benefit from their relevance and their presence in those platforms is quite important. At the end of the day, we want to convey a message from our brand. We want to engage with those audiences that probably they get close to football in different ways than what we did in the past. I got close to football because my father brought me to a match when I was a kid, but nowadays, there are a lot of kids around the world that probably the first contact that they have with a La Liga team or football is through a video game or through a eBay streaming one of our competitions in esports. And we run we went the same path. We started working and collaborating with Twitch through gaming, through our esports competitions 3 years ago. That's where we opened our channel, and we've seen that non-gaming content started to grow exponentially within the platform, and there was an aim to get more content from traditional sports, but not as much from corporate channels as much as from creators that are natural and logical at some point to the platform, and consumption ways are built that way within the platform. And what we want is to benefit from those audiences, those communities that have been already created from some of those creators that also work with La Liga for several years, like Ibai. He's been one of our first casters for our esports competition, and try at the end of the day to mix those two worlds, the gaming influence within the platform from those creators, plus what La Liga's brands and content can bring to the ecosystem. So that's the way we want to approach the presence within the platform.
So we've talked a bit there about, I get essentially using this as a tool to expand globally as well, not just from a brand perspective, but also engagement, which of course is the holy grail of nearly every rights holder around the world. And, I think traditionally, and I think, it's a very, very, it skews young, and Farhan, I'll come to you here in terms of your audience base. The Twitch audience would traditionally be thought of as that skew. Am I right in thinking that it's broadening out into different age groups and demographics that also are relevant for football at the moment? Where are we with the kind of the Twitch audience right now?
Yeah, so I think there's definitely clear synergies between the audience that we see on Twitch and the audiences that I think traditional organizations are looking to target. Our demographic is young. Around 21% of our users are between the ages of 13 to 17, and then a further 50% are between 18 and 34. We do also skew a little bit more in most markets to a more male, more males and females, and I think that's also exciting for sports organizations. And I think what you also see on Twitch is that regular users have very high watch times. So on our service, it's really all around live interactive content. So it's very common for regular users to have viewership times of more than 60 minutes, which I think is of particular appeal to kind of traditional sports organizations.
Okay, so now we understand a little more around the Twitch consumer and those that are interacting with the La Liga brand. I guess the big question for you, Alfredo, is how do we see this monetizing itself over the next few years or so?
Well, I mean, to us, is not such a priority monetization right now. What we want is to be able to build those communities and to engage with those audiences. What will be our main concern is to create a product and content that is attractive to those audiences, and by that we will get the chance to connect through LaLiga brands with audiences. At the end of the day, we need to build something that is attractive for that audience. There is a huge amount of content out there. We have creators, we have brands, we have leagues, we have teams creating content. The users, they still have 24 hours a day to consume that amount of content. And what we want is to be relevant, to being able to create content franchises, narratives that is still attractive for those audiences. And then we believe that by getting brands into those narratives, trying to find the right brand and the right branded content for those specific audiences, the bond between us as a league and the community and the brand will be stronger. And that's what we've been doing in the last years by building a tournament like LaLiga, where we jump into the gaming ecosystem. We know about organizing football competition, not that much about organizing an esports competition, but by listening to the community, creating that community, we created the best competition of football gaming around the world, and we got together a lot of brands into the project. So to us, it's more to create the right content, and through that, being able to work with brands on branded content deals.
Okay. I think it would be interesting if we could hear perhaps any case study or soundbite around something that you have done together, in terms of numbers and reach, and as you talked about, Farhan, the kind of stickability of this content for your users. Is there anything in particular that would be interesting to talk about that was a real success over the last 4 months that you've worked together?
Yeah, well, as Alfredo mentioned at the start, I'd say the kind of the content around the LaLiga casters activation. So this is where some of our biggest Spanish creators have been doing what we call watch along content. So they are watching a live LaLiga match. They're not showing the match itself, but they are providing color and commentary and additional kind of a substance to the game, and that's being shared and watched by the viewers and by the community. And certainly when this launched with Ibai, there was hundreds of thousands of people watching. It's really great to see, and I think probably quite innovative, because I think for most in sports, if you're not watching the live event, people may say, well, how is that going to generate audience interest? But it clearly is, if you can activate in the right way and you use the right personalities. And I think as Alfredo also mentioned, what was also exciting is that this was an audio option on the traditional broadcast as well. So it was quite innovative in a lot of ways. So these content activations will be continuing for this season, and our hope is that they can continue into next season as well. And as I said, the viewership results have been great so far, and the community have loved it. So we're excited to kind of continue working on that path.
And you've touched there, Farhan, on this watch along. So, and as you say, there is no showing of the actual broadcast, clearly for obvious reasons. How do you, as a content creator, but also a broadcaster, essentially, how do you, a content platform, see yourself against these traditional broadcasters? What's your position? Where do you sit? Yeah,
so our focus is building kind of communities around certain passion points, and historically that's been within gaming. So a lot of the kind of the Twitch culture and the Twitch products and the creators are kind of built around that. But if you take a step back and you look at what our service is, it provides someone who wants to create live content the ability to do so. And I think within sports that's very exciting, because it almost democratizes the fan process. Like anyone, if you're a Real Madrid fan, you can start a Twitch channel and you can start talking about Real Madrid. So our primary focus is on those creators, and I think that does differentiate ourselves really from kind of a number of the more kind of the traditional broadcasting side of things, because our focus is on growing that community. But what's exciting about this kind of strategic partnership is working with a partner who, clearly has a huge expertise and in the kind of the traditional area, is looking to build a community on Twitch to provide the communities and the audience that we have with something authentic and relevant to them, and then also to actually be working with some of our kind of our endemic talent to build those content experiences. So that's the kind of the lens that we look at it. And we hope that it's an additive experience, and that everyone wins. The creator wins because they're growing their community and they have some really exciting additional content to stream. The LaLiga hopefully reaching a new audience. And it's generating great excitement to our community on Twitch, which is just what we're looking for.
Sure. So that was going to be our next point, really. It looks like you're building the brand and increasing the reach, for LaLiga, and then likewise, you're building your audience through the LaLiga brand association. Alfredo, how are you communicating this to your fans and your wider membership? Is it just through online channels? How are you actually getting this messaging out to these guys?
I mean, we run a huge outreach in terms of communicating this. In Spain, there's been a huge buzz around that, with a lot of controversy also from traditional media, whether this was going to be replacing traditional commentators and so on. So we had a lot of interviews by discussing that, and the way we see it is totally complementary to traditional broadcasting, and it's a value proposition that adds up something different from traditional broadcasting itself, in terms of having a new way or a new commentation option, plus the possibility to consume a new experience of the match without having live footage. So I mean, we made a huge effort through all our channels. We also work with creators to promote the match they are gonna be commentating beforehand. And also our communication team has done a lot of work in trying to get this piece around the world, and communicate that why LaLiga is doing this, why we want to start working in a closer way with platforms such as Twitch, not just with these options that we have now in terms of just commentating, and in other possible partnerships that goes beyond just the audio experience, and could even include video footage.
And how have your clubs responded to the partnership? I presume what's good for you is good for them as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we have just one match per weekend that is being commentated by creators, and we have to balance a lot which teams are having, for example, Levi commentating, because the moment we announce which is going to be the next match and who are the casters that are going to be participating. Every single team, they engage with them in social media, they create memes, and they create content around that experience. And I mean, the teams are really happy, and they are also seeing Twitch as an option to start building their communities, and a lot of them are starting to consider and opening their own Twitch channels.
That's great. This sounds like a really exciting partnership that's so forward-thinking and is absolutely going to lead the way for other leagues and sports around the world. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.